Hi, I'm Chris Nelson, and welcome to the Play Days here Saturdays and Sundays on Campo Drive. So a bunch of us are hanging out and we're playing in the clay. I've always loved art, but I started in ceramics specifically at Cypress College in the summer of 1997 in a night class. So I took a bunch of hours off during the afternoon vacation hours so that I could go to class from 5 to 9, and it was a fabulous experience, fabulous. And then I continued in class for 8 years.
Chris, so what drew you to clay as an art medium?
Well, when I first was hired at Cypress College, I hired some student workers, and one, Alfred Kwan, was extremely gifted and talented. And to this day, the perfect pot or plate or bowl is an Alfred Kwan. That's what's in my head. That's what I strive to do. It doesn't mean I get it perfect, but I strive to make that. And I like I said earlier, I really love clay. I really love this medium. I love it. It's very, very forgiving, but it's also very, very responsive as well.
So Chris, what do you prefer, the hand building or the throwing, or is there a percentage of one and the other, or are you strictly just wheel now?
I would say that I'm probably 85% throwing, but when I go to other exhibits, other art shows, I get inspired, and so I do try and hand build. I'm just not that good at it, but I'm trying. But there's something very relaxing about touching the clay. It's extremely, like I said, forgiving, but it's like my zen. You have to think of nothing else when you're here in the clay. So I really like it. I really appreciate it too.
And Chris, how long, or how did this group get started here, and how long has it been going on?
This group started in June of 2021. Yeah, 2021, and it was a couple of years after Shar passed, and some of the older Cypress College students wanted to get together. So when we first started in June, we probably had about 11 or 12 people here.
Can you tell us who Shar was?
Shar Fellows was a ceramics professor at Cypress College. She retired, I believe, in 2001. And she was a fabulous teacher because she not only taught you clay, she equated clay with life lessons. So she was very comprehensive. We were very blessed to have multiple speakers and some very famous speakers come to our class. And she also sent us out to other campuses to go to lectures and to learn from other professors at different community colleges as well. So it was a blessing to be with her for 8 years, and just to get to hang out there. I'd take vacation days so I could hang out in the classroom.
And so then you started this group because?
Well, the Cypress College students wanted to get together, and then they all slowly faded off. I recruited Lisa because she had always seen some of the action going on here when we would have some Cypress College parties. And so I said, you've always expressed that you wanted to learn. If you want to, come on and start hanging out. So she did, and she's like, this is her favorite place to be every Saturday and Sunday. And then Mary Jane heard me talking about it in the chiropractic office, and she goes, oh, I want to come too. So I said, come on over. And so she's been coming. Mary Jane, did you look up your date?
Right about the same time.
Yeah. That summer.
Yeah.
So probably not right in June, maybe in July, maybe. Yeah, a couple weeks later. And then Kristen, we just got here in the last couple months, so she'll tell you when she started. And she's real close here, and she kind of saw everybody coming and going and said, hey, can I come too? Sure, come on over. So This is us. This is who hangs out here on Saturdays and Sundays.
And sort of, aesthetically, culturally, emotionally, any of those or all of the above, what do you get out of the clay making and the process of making? How does that all work for you?
Well, to me, as I said, throwing clay is very, very, it's very relaxing, but all the skills I learned how to do it. I actually really wanted to be in clay way back in my 20s, but I wasn't welcome into a classroom at Glendale College. I was working there at Glendale College, and so I'd always thought about it, wanted to do it. And then when Alfred became like a student worker hanging out in the office, and I saw his works, he would bring some things, pieces that didn't sell at an art sale, at the annual art sale at Cypress. And I said, wow, I want to do that. So learning how to run the kilns, electric and gas, and the fire pit out in the back, it's just something that I just kept growing and learning more and more. And now, thanks to these ladies, I'm learning more about different glazes, because I only had a handful of glazes compared to what we have now. So it's just like a big learning curve, and it keeps me occupied. It keeps my brain working, and it's exciting. It's fun to hang out here and to learn new things and to share all this energy with these guys. We have a lot of fun. We do. We have a lot of fun.
Chris, do you sell your art?
I have been selling my art with these ladies, but because I do mostly demos, like this is kind of nice just to sit here and have some wheel time. And then when they leave, usually I'm too tired, but sometimes when they leave, I will kick up Van Morrison and I'll throw something. So I sell pieces, and now I'm digging into some of the pieces that were assignments for both Shar Fellows and Molly Schultz at Cypress College, and photographed them. They don't need to stay in a box in my house. I can photograph them and send them out there into the world. And but mostly, if people like my pieces, even when I was a student, I'd say, put your name on the bottom of it. After I'm graded, you can have it. So after grades went out, then I gave people these presents. I've inundated the family and all my high school friends and friends with ceramic pieces. I don't do that anymore unless they specifically ask for something. So it's just something that I'm going to be doing, and it doesn't really matter if they get sold or not. It's just something I'm going to do because I love it.
So hi, my name's Kristen Gomez, and yeah.
So Kristen, how long have you been making art?
Oh, I started coming here, probably as a kid. I'm sure I did lots of stuff and made, little plates and drawings for my mom and my dad. But I started here with Chris last summer, so about 9 months.
And what drew you to making or working with clay?
I'm sorry?
What drew you to working with clay?
I don't know. I guess I was just curious, and it seemed fun, and I kind of liked the messy aspect of it, just because I feel like most of my day revolves around, being organized and everything, just, being on a schedule. So this just kind of seemed messy and fun, like I could let my hair down.
And when did you join this group, Chris's group here?
So I joined about 9 months ago, last summer. So I'm new. I'm a new beginner potter.
I see. So pottery is a new medium for you, relatively speaking.
Yes.
Very good. And do you show or sell your artwork anywhere?
No.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not even next week?
Yes, next week will be my first time, so no pressure. You're here just taking pictures and video. Yeah.
We will judge you next week.
Yeah.
And what do you like about working with clay?
Ooh, I guess I kind of stated it already. Just kind of you just don't really know where it's going to go. You can kind of plan to do something, but the clay kind of has its own plan. So, yeah, I like that it's messy. I like that it's creative. I like that it's just for fun. I don't know.
Being a beginner, as you said,
Yeah.
what's been the most difficult aspect of working with clay as a medium?
I guess it just takes a long time. You don't, when you see a finished piece, you're not, you don't really know all the different steps that it takes to get there, which I didn't know until I started coming here. It's not like I just come, throw it, glaze it, and it's ready. So I think it's just like being patient with that, which I also like. There's some sort of like, I don't know, just forces you to slow down. Not everything can be rushed and on demand, so yeah.
Where do you see yourself going with clay in the future?
Well, I guess the possibilities are endless. I don't know, just to continue having fun with it and hanging out here with everyone, like that sense of community and just, chatting with other girls, or just having fun, being here with my dog. So yeah, just continue to enjoy it and just see what it evolves to. So,
Hi, I'm Lisa Hopkins.
So, Lisa, how long have you been making art?
Making art. I guess that's that's a very loaded question. The first hand piece built clay thing I made was in 1976, but I really got involved only 2 years ago.
And what draws you to clay as an art medium?
It is very forgiving, and it feels good in your hands. And I've just always been drawn to it, even as a kid, wanting to pick up some piece of pottery just to touch it. There's something about, I think, all of us, when we grab something, we have to hold it, we have to touch it, we have to feel it. Yeah.
And what do you prefer, the hand building or the throwing?
I definitely love to throw, and a lot of my pieces, I will throw them, and then I embellish them with hand-built pieces. So I guess a little bit of both, but yeah, I think if I had to just, what was I going to do in an afternoon, I'd be throwing.
And how long have you been creating work here in Chris's group?
I started in June of 2021, right in the middle of the pandemic, and basically Chris saved me. Yeah, it was a real blessing to be able to come here on a weekend and just hang out and do something that I've really grown to love.
Were you working with clay, on a regular basis before joining this group?
No, not at all. No, this was just all new to me.
And do you show your work or sell your work?
Yes, we have had 2 shows. The first one we did, I sold 50 pieces, so that was pretty exciting. And then the last one we just did last November, and then we're going to have another show next weekend. So we'll be hopefully selling lots next weekend. Because when you throw clay, you create a lot of clay pieces, and then we have to sell them. I give a lot away to family and friends, but I also, we sell. Yeah.
And what do you like about making art in general? What does it give you, or what does it bring to your life?
Yeah, it's really a sense of accomplishment. I think everybody has some artistic ability in them. It's just finding what that is. It doesn't have to be fine art. It doesn't have to be, schooled. It can be learned and then applied however you feel that creative outlet is. That's what I love about it.
And where are you going to take it from here? Do you have any plans of, you're already selling art, so, what is your future plans? Do you plan on, maybe getting a booth at the Laguna Art Show or something like that?
I'm not sure I'm quite that caliber, but I think I don't ever see myself in the future not throwing clay. I just think it's definitely a big part of who I am now. And just wherever it takes me. I mean, I definitely would love to spend more time doing it. I'm definitely, I'm working full time, so I don't have as much time as I'd like, but I enjoy it enough to want to continue.
Hi, I'm Mary Jane Marisol.
So, Mary Jane, how long have you been working in clay?
Here at Chris's since June 2021, but I had a 6th grade teacher who had a wheel, one of those old school manual wheels that you had to kick, and so I think it was for the whole day he allowed each student to go out and just spend the day playing in clay. And I always loved it, and he was always my favorite teacher, and I always hoped that I would always get him the following year. And so, yeah, gosh, what was I, 5th or 6th grade, I think it was. So, and then I hadn't done anything. Well, I took a sculpting class in art school, and that was fun. And then when I heard Chris was doing pottery in her garage, I overheard it, and so I'm like, hey, I want to do pottery. So that's how I got started again with it.
So did you just say you went to art school?
I did.
Where did you go?
It was called the Art Institute in Laguna Beach, but now it's called something different. And then I also went to Long Beach State for 2 semesters. But Long Beach was a great school, but I felt like it was too big for me. Like I wanted something smaller. Yeah.
And how long have you been working with the clay here at Chris's place?
So I've been doing pottery here at Chris's since June 2021.
And what is it specifically that you like about working with clay?
Just creating something out of nothing, basically. You have this chunk of clay, you cut a piece off, you prep it, and then just the molding of it. And sometimes you think you're in control, but then something happens and then you're out, and then sometimes you just have to sort of surrender with what you have. I have a natural tendency when I paint or draws to kind of like be controlling and very tight. So clay allows me to just sort of really let that go and just, let it kind of just be free, basically.
And Marianne, where do you see yourself in the future with clay? Like, do you have any goals of doing it on a more, consistent professional basis, taking it into that world, maybe galleries, museums, or, what is your thoughts about that?
Well, I haven't really thought about it. I kind of thought about doing workshops and, sort of what Chris has here, like a community. But yeah, it's kind of like, I don't want to say just a hobby, but it is. It's a creative outlet for me, and I think it's more for me right now. I know it sounds very selfish, but I guess once I get my confidence up, maybe just share it with more people.
Mary Jane, do you work in both hand building and throwing, or is there a percentage, or is it strictly one or the other?
I like both. I don't know what percentages. I do a lot more throwing, but if I do take clay home, then I'm hand building, which I love because, as I mentioned before, I did take a sculpting class in art school, and I really love that. And again, just creating form out of nothing. Gosh, if you would say, I don't know, maybe like a 80-20% throwing to hand building, but I enjoy both equally. But I think being on the wheel is sort of like a love-hate relationship also. Because it's like you could have this form really good and then do something and then it just goes to what. I didn't want to say it, but gets destroyed basically.
How do you feel when something falls apart or gets destroyed like that?
I used to get upset, but we have so much clay now. It's just like, just do it again. I guess it's part of the whole process. It's part of the whole learning process.